All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel, and in this video, I'm going to give you guys my take on Nikola stock, or ticker symbol NKLA. So as you guys can see here, I have Robinhood mirrored. This was one of the top moving stocks on Robinhood today. Very hot stock, up over 100% today, up 20% after hours. So I figured it would be good, considering it was one of the hottest stocks, to look at it on Robinhood real quick, and then we'll dive into some charts in the back, and I'll show you guys some articles that I think are relevant from a fundamental perspective as to why I think the way I do about Nikola stock right now. Okay, so before we get into all that, if you guys do go on to gain value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribed if you want to catch more content like it and you're not already. And if you are, thank you very much. Okay, so like I said, we'll look over Robinhood first. Again, this is insane. This is about as good of a day as you could hope for a stock. If you guys did watch my video yesterday, I just posted yesterday, the Waves Weekly, where I briefly covered this stock. I was talking about how it had all the makings in my mind for a stock that could absolutely go FOMO or attract a lot of FOMO investment. It is a culty stock, and it definitely showed that today. This is FOMO if I've ever seen it. This is about as shiny an object as stocks get, as you encounter in these markets. So again, I just felt like this was a very necessary video to make, because in my personal opinion, this is a very dangerous stock right now. Obviously, it looks great. Sometimes when stocks do this, when they go parabolic like this, it seems like they can never go down and there's so much upside potential ahead. But I mean, any stock that doubles in a single day, and it's actually done very well over the past about month, because they did have a merger with VTIQ. It's a blank check stock. That is how they were able to go public quickly, is by merging with that blank check writing stock. Okay, so they merged with VTIQ. VTIQ itself has done pretty well over the past month, again, just on the rumors that this was going to happen. So we'll look here. Again, Nikola itself just IPO'd 5 days ago. Okay, so on, I think I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday, but just a few days ago. Very new company. Again, it did merge with VTIQ, which has been around since 2018. So again, it IPO'd at $37.50. All right, and since then, just in a few days, obviously most of its gains were made today. So it's up 120%. If you invested at the IPO, you would have over doubled your money. I personally do not have any positions on Nikola. I wish I kind of acted on the hunch I had about this. I didn't think it was going to happen this quick for sure. It's crazy that it opened up the week like this. I mean, if you just held the stock, you would have doubled your money again. If you had call options on this thing, you probably would have 10x your money. But that's just the game sometimes. It's okay. If you miss this boat, don't worry about it, because there will always be more stocks like this. Just watch how it's acting and learn from it, so you can apply the knowledge that you learn from this to future trades or positions that you might want to enter. Okay, so again, I just wanted to show you guys on Robinhood real quick, just so we could, again, it was one of the top movers today. Felt it would be appropriate. We'll look at the actual chart in the back. So not the actual chart, that was a chart as well, but we will look at this chart in back. This is on TradingView, a little more technical. So we'll look at this, okay? So this is a 5-minute candles. It gapped up extremely hard right upon market open this morning, shot up, had a little correction, and then slowly climbed its way back up. Again, this is about as insane as you will see a stock. Not obviously, there are crazier stocks, but this is a fairly large company. One very important thing to look at, and kind of the grounds for my fundamental argument for why this is a very obviously overvalued stock right now, is the market cap. So market cap is currently sitting at over $26 billion. All right, a very important thing to look at here is its employees. All right, so employees market cap. Its market cap is over $26 billion. Just for a reference point, Ford, the legacy automotive company, I'm sure if you definitely know Ford. Ford is a $29.9 billion market cap or something like that. Okay, so Nikola has 4 employees, has no products actually on the road yet, but it is almost worth the same amount as Ford. Okay, so that's a very important thing to establish right off the bat if you are thinking about investing in this company, that it's valued at almost the same amount as Ford. Okay, so this in my head, this really sums up the current market environment very well. If there's one thing I've learned in the markets over the past couple months in this crisis, in this pandemic, etc., it's that the economic fundamentals and the economic reality has nothing to do with the stock market. Okay, the jobs suck, everything economically kind of sucks, and the stock market just keeps popping off. And I think that is definitely reflecting on why, or just one of the underlying reasons behind Nikola doing so well right now. Okay, people are investing on the future potential of companies and the hope that a company will succeed in the long term, as opposed to the current fundamentals and financials. Okay, so that's obviously Again, Nikola, $26 billion market cap. They are losing money. They actually don't profit. I think over the past few quarters, they've lost $100 or so million each quarter. Something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I know they're for sure not profitable. They are losing money. They have only 4 employees, which is insane. And their market cap is, I assume they're going to recruit more people. That's inevitable, especially now that they've gone public. But their market cap's almost the size of Ford. Okay, so this company is almost the size of Ford with no profits and no cars currently available on the road. Okay, so I do want to look, we'll go over some fundamentals again, just kind of on that fundamental bandwagon. We'll look at the reason why it skyrocketed today. Okay, so Tesla competitor Nikola Motors skyrockets 104% after setting a reservation date for its electric truck, Nikola Tesla. Okay, so I do want to say as well, I did mention this in the video yesterday where I briefly covered it. Nikola, the reason that I did think that it had a lot of potential to have this parabolic movement and price action, again, not to the scale, I didn't expect this, but it was expected if you're familiar with Tesla. Okay, so Tesla, obviously a huge company. Everyone at this point knows Tesla, one of the hottest stocks on the market, one of the most traded stocks on the market as a whole. Again, it's a cult stock, all right? And I want to lay the ground right now that I'm a fan of Tesla. I'm a huge fan of Tesla brand. I'm a fan of this company, Nikola. I think they're very, it's a revolutionary company. You know, on this channel, we love revolutionary industries. I love revolutionary sectors. I love companies that are really making a difference and trying to change the world. But with that does come very passionate investors, okay? And with passionate investors ultimately comes like emotional buying, and with emotional buying comes price spikes. Emotion leads to FOMO, and FOMO leads to bubbles, okay, which is ultimately what I think Nikola stock is. I think this will become a bubble. It's obviously overvalued, but I'm going off on a tangent. I will just read these kind of bullet points as to why the fundamental reasons, at least as far as this guy is concerned, this is as far as I'm concerned as well, the reason it did spike up today is because they offered reservations for their new truck. So Nikola Corp soared 104% on Monday after setting a reservation date for its new electric truck, the Badger. So as you can see here, this thing is sick. I think it's way sicker. It's not way sicker. They're both the Tesla Cybertruck. That's what I'm making the comparison to in my mind. This is a much cleaner, more user-friendly looking vehicle, I think. The Cybertruck, I think, is sick, but it is definitely for a select few. This one is a clean look. I think this is a great looking car. So they did just start taking reservations, or they announced that they're going to start taking reservations. So similar to as to what Tesla did with the Cybertruck, where you make like $100 deposit and you are reserved a place in line for the truck as soon as they go into manufacturing. So I think as far as cash flow is concerned, this will obviously generate cash flow. I can't remember exactly how many people signed up, paid that $100 deposit for Cybertruck, but great move on their part. Like that generated so much literally free money for Tesla, because you're not even providing a product. All right, you're literally just taking people's money. $100, which is a very little amount. I imagine Nikola is going to take a similar path, like $100 just to reserve your place in line. So when they do end up manufacturing the actual vehicles, you will have that place in line and you will have priority. All right, so from a cash flow perspective, brilliant move. The zero emissions vehicle manufacturer plans to open reservations for the Badger on June 29th, according to a tweet from Trevor Milton, who is the founder and chairman of Nikola. All right, so again, this is their CEO, we'll actually look at a video. I'm not going to show you guys this video, but I do want to talk about this video at the end. What's this guy's name? Trevor Milton, who is the company's chairman, founder, did tweet out this morning that they were going to take those reservations. So that's the reason the stock jumped. Again, it's a good reason. It makes sense. But with that said, the stock is obviously super overvalued still. And we'll go over another fundamental. We will go over, I will take a look at the charts. I'm going to let you guys know what I think is going to happen with the stock from a technical perspective. But first, just again, going over the fundamentals, I want to look at this website, okay? So reading articles from market-focused publications is never a bad idea. It's a good source to get just kind of bird's eye view level things or just information and news in regards to the company. So again, articles like this are great just to kind of get an idea of what's going on, but it's always good just to kind of dig a little deeper, go onto the company's actual website, read their about. We will quickly look at their about, and just whenever I invest in a company for the long term, I always like to go to their website and just look at the user interface. Like, so this is a pretty sick style. This is obviously a well-engineered website. I like that. That's huge. Just from a consumer perspective, they do have, like, this is a sick interface. I'm not going to doubt that at all. And again, their products are sick. There aren't many of them out there just yet, but their products, their concepts are super sick. Okay, so we will go to their about real quick. Let's see what they have to say about themselves. Transform the transportation industry while improving our employees' lives and leaving the world a better place. Okay, so this is obviously the Nikola team. I don't know why because even on Robinhood it says they have 4 employees. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know if they just kind of contract a whole bunch of them out. But okay, so just looking at this, that's another reason why you look at their actual site. Like, follow them. Don't just follow kind of what these market publications, even these trading platforms, have to say, because they obviously have more than 4 employees. Okay, so this makes more sense. They look like a solid team. There's obviously a lot of people there, but again, they're just trying to make the world a better place. Our values: drive forward, move fast, work outward, act as owners. Okay, so that's all very basic, kind of motivational, double entendre kind of stuff. So I mean, I like the entrepreneurial spirit. Again, it's just good you guys can go dig deeper onto the website if you want to, but it's always good to look at again, not just market publications, not just things like Market Insider, Business Insider, Forbes, whatever, but look at the actual company's website. Okay, that's very important. And then this, again, I just want to, if you guys want to watch this right now, go for it, but I would encourage watching it after. If you do want to invest in Nikola stock, the only good takeaway from this is like a CNBC article, or a CNBC video, I'm sorry, titled "Nikola Executive Chairman Trevor Milton on the company's public debut." It's a very standard CNBC article with any founder. So go check that out. The main reason I want you guys to watch this, if you do want to invest in Nikola stock, is because it's always good to bet not only on the car but the driver. Okay, so know what listen to this dude. I think he's I'm pretty impartial on him. I did watch this. It's not like he's super impressive. He does seem passionate about it, but he's not super charismatic. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. I have nothing exceptional to say about the guy. Go watch it for yourself. Make your own decision. That goes with all of this. But again, it's always good to know who's driving the car, not just betting on the car itself. Okay, so go check this out if you do want to think about investing in the company, or if you are thinking seriously about investing in the company. So go check this out. Do all the research on the founder and the team as you can, because that's very important in terms of fundamentals. But again, this market, this stock is obviously not driven on fundamentals right now. It's driven on hope. So to be completely honest, although I place so much weight out of principle on fundamentals, that's just not the reality of these current markets. And that sucks to me. That is a very dangerous place to be economically, or just within the markets. It's very dangerous in my mind that the markets are currently the way they are. But that's just the reality. So you have to adapt. That's a very important principle just of everything in life. You have to adapt. All right, so again, you might be wondering why I have this till rate chart open. Okay, so if you aren't familiar, we do talk about bubbles a lot here on the channel. I have brought this chart up before, but that's because I think it's a very relevant chart to bring up when you're dealing with stocks that go parabolic and see a lot of FOMO, see FOMO buying, see emotional buying, because they do turn into bubbles. All right, so Tilray is a very good example of a bubble. This is a pretty textbook bubble that formed. If you guys aren't familiar, back in 2018 when Tilray, which was the first company to go public on the New York Stock Exchange, went public, it did end up going from call it $30 just to keep it easy. In August, September is pretty much the same price, to a high of $300 just a month later. Okay, so within the span of a month, it went on to 10x in price, went to a high of $300. Although it was very obvious that the fundamentals behind the company and the financials, nothing made sense. This is exactly what FOMO buying looks like, and what hype leads to parabolic price action, which is a bubble. All right, that's what a bubble is. And when bubbles are extended to their maximum capacity, they will pop. That's why it's called a bubble, is because it pops at a certain point. Okay, so it went to a high of $300, and then ultimately went back on down to crash to $100, and is now, over the past year or so, has gone on to completely correct. Okay, so obviously I'm not trying to compare the two companies themselves. They're obviously very different companies, very different industries. I personally believe, although cannabis is a very promising sector, it's a young sector, it has a lot of growth potential ahead of it. They are very different companies. This is more of a Tesla competitor. which again, it's a Tesla competitor. It's so not surprising to me that it saw this price action, because again, Tesla is a culty stock. A lot of people don't like that. You guys know what I mean when I say culty stock, but it's a stock that is driven by a lot of passionate investors, and that's awesome. It's good to be passionate and really care about the companies you're investing in, but you just have to keep a sense of rational optimism. Optimism is great, but it has to be rational optimism. Okay, I always say that. It has to be rational. It's very evident that right now the financials behind Nikola do not warrant a $26 billion valuation. But again, it will be very interesting to see moving forward, come June 29th, how many people actually do make that deposit, because again, that's how I assume they will do the reservation process. How many people make the deposit to actually get in line for that truck? Because again, that's a lot of good cash flow. It's going to be interesting to see the actual numbers on that. And I think that will be a pivotal moment. A lot of times when things do bubble up, there is a catalyst that pops the bubble. Okay, so say June 29th comes around, this thing, in my opinion, will for sure not run directly up. It will not just keep going straight up. It will have a lot of volatility going up to June 29th. But I think that time period, maybe late June, early July, is when this will kind of face its day of reckoning in terms of if it's overvalued or not. I can almost guarantee that if this does keep running up, say, these did IPO, I mean, this and Tilray both are sitting around the $30 mark, so similar valuations. Nikola, I can't remember what valuation Tilray went up to, but it was around a $50 billion valuation at $300. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Nikola at the very least break $100. Just again, this is a very evidently a bubble in my mind. I think this is going to lead to a lot of FOMO. Tomorrow it will probably go up too. So the main reason, I don't know why I didn't articulate this before, but the main reason I think it's good to look at stocks that have bubbled previously is just to know how FOMO works, okay? So the reason it's important to look at this is to look at the trend of how the FOMO process works, okay? So spike up, it'll go down or go up for a couple days, go down for one day, go up for another couple days, come down one day. Again, when FOMO enters the market and when there is a lot of emotional investing going on, you can look at these historical patterns just as a kind of a reference point. Obviously, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme, the old cliche. So it's just good to look at historical data in terms of these charts that saw a lot of FOMO, that saw parabolic price action, that saw emotion, okay? So you're looking at emotion here. This is psychology. Psychology that you're looking at. Okay, so yeah, again, it's good to just look at these. Obviously, it could be completely different, but it's likely to be somewhat similar in some respects, okay? So again, it could be completely different. This is all just my opinion. You guys know that. Not guaranteeing anything, but it is just good to kind of just broaden your horizons. It's just an extra data point to work off of if you do want to trade or invest this stock. All right, so to be completely honest, what I think is going to happen in just, again, 100% my opinion, not advice. I could be completely wrong here, but what I think is going to happen after today, you saw up 120% today. We will likely see, there's going to be a lot of people who saw it on the hottest stocks, on the top movers, on Robinhood. That's important, considering there's so much new retail investors in the market. So many new eyes. They're going to be attracted to shiny objects. They're going to see Nikola stock move to 130%. Goddamn, that is a great buy. This thing is going to the moon. They will buy it probably tomorrow. This might go on for the rest of the week. On Friday, it'll probably sell off because everyone who took profits from this prior week or from this current week will be up probably at least 2x on their money. They're going to want to take some profits. A lot of smart money will exit come Friday or come Thursday or Friday because they're just preparing for the weekend. If you made that much profit, and especially with a stock like this, it is super sketchy to hold it over the weekend. And a lot of people are not going to want to hold it over the weekend. They're going to want to realize some gains and some profits that they took from this explosion up. So I'm going to expect that on Thursday or Friday, it will have a significant sell-off. And then come next week, it'll probably open pretty flat. It might, and then I do have a theory that things work in waves of twos. So we see this initial spike up. It might last for another day or two, and then I think it will have a significant correction on the later end. Voice just cracked. On the later end of this week, I think it will see a correction, and then next week it will probably have another big move up at some point, and then after that second move up, where it'll probably break $100 or $200. I mean, this thing could go to space, could go to the stratosphere right now. So after that second big move up, I think it will correct for good. and then it will have a pretty significant correction. It'll probably come down to this area after like the $50 area at its first high, at the high it reached earlier today. So at some point, I think it'll probably come down to $50, $60 and then just go flat in that area for a while. Okay, so again, could be completely wrong there. That is just from my previous experience with bubbles. Again, looking at things like Tilray, I played multiple bubbles in my career as an investor, trader, whatever you want to call me. So that is just intuitively what I think will happen. Again, could very well not happen. This thing could go straight up into space, but that is not, in my experience, how things work around here. Okay, so we'll call it there, you guys. As I mentioned in the beginning, I do not hold any Nikola stock. I will probably, what I will likely do is wait for it to reach what I believe is a peak, and then I might actually buy some put options on it to catch the fall down, because although I think it could go higher, I just cannot in my right mind buy call options or take a position on the stock to catch any more upward movement, just because it is too high risk for me at this point. But I think I will be able to identify a top, and we'll probably buy some put options on it and short the stock once I believe it has reached that top. So if you guys want to know when I do that, or literally whatever, what all the other positions in my current portfolio are, you guys can check out the complete portfolio product down below. It is literally it's as it states, it's a complete breakdown of my entire portfolio, all call options, put options, stock positions, cryptocurrencies even, complete breakdown of every trade I'm currently in. And along with that, I do send out a daily newsletter on every trading day. So a trading daily newsletter where I break down my thoughts on the current market. You get more real-time updates. I'll let you guys know what trades I'm taking, why I'm taking the trades I'm taking. I'm not ridiculously active. I'm a swing trader. I'm not a day trader, so I only make a few trades a day. So if you're interested in that at all, go check, again, first link down in the description. Check that out if you are interested. If not, no worries. So we'll call it there, guys. Again, I appreciate you watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think, if you think that this valuation is warranted and you can justify the valuation, and let me know why. And if you think I'm ridiculous for thinking this isn't a bubble, but I think anyone who understands the space and has been in this game for even a decent amount of time would know that this is very obviously a bubble. So just let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're invested. Let me know if you guys were in it before today, because if you were, congratulations, you're stoked. So let me know. Again, always love talking shop with you guys. Always love learning from you guys. So look forward to talking to you guys down there. And again, we'll wrap it up there. I'll stop rambling. So until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace. I did it again. Sorry about that. All right. Take action, make waves. Peace.